Welcome to Daily Review, your daily dose of literary exploration. We dive into books that spark curiosity and ignite growth. And while our passion often leads us to nonfiction that can empower and improve your life, no book is ever off limits. Today, we're digging into Matthew McConaughey's best-selling book, Greenlights. He doesn't really call it a memoir, but an approach book. His personal playbook for navigating the messy, beautiful, and sometimes brutal realities of life. If you're enjoying what you hear, please consider taking a moment to subscribe, rate, like, and comment on whatever platform you're listening from. It really helps support our channel. And if today's review sparks your interest, please consider using the link in our description to grab a copy. It's an easy way to get the book, and it directly supports our channel and the author. Thanks for being part of the Daily Review community. All right, so McConaughey kicks things off with a truth that, let's be honest, we all know deep down. Life gets messy. We hit roadblocks, we fail, we face things we wish had never happened. He says stepping in it is inevitable. The real trick he's learned isn't how to avoid the mess, but how to scrape it off your boots and just keep on moving.
So what's his big secret for navigating all of that? Well, his whole approach really hinges on this simple but powerful metaphor, the traffic lights of life.
Okay, let's start with the easy ones. Green lights. You know what these are? These are the moments when everything just flows. The wins, the successes, the moments of pure joy. They're what he calls a shoeless summer. They're the universe giving you a big high five, saying, yes, keep going. We all love green lights because they're easy. But of course, life isn't just one long green light. We also get yellow lights, right? The moments that make us pause and think. And then the red lights, the full stops, the failures, the pain. He calls these a shoeless winter. They scream no and stop us dead in our tracks. But here's the key insight. While green lights give us what we want, he argues that those yellow and red lights, they often give us what we actually need. And that leads us right to the heart of the whole book, the central thesis, really. McConaughey's big idea is that a lot of red lights are actually green lights in disguise. A crisis, a failure, or a setback doesn't have to be the end of the road. If you handle it right, it can become the very thing that launches you forward. And this isn't just theory, right? You really see this idea come to life when you look at his own story. The book is packed with these moments where he just slammed headfirst into a major red light, forcing him to stop and rethink everything. Take his year as an exchange student. He's a teenager, he thinks he's heading to Australia for sunny beaches and fun. Instead, what he got was a year of profound isolation. His host family was, well, let's just say bizarre. He felt so lost that he became a celibate vegetarian whose diet was literally just iceberg lettuce and ketchup. He was seriously planning to become a monk. But that huge red light, it forced him to look inward and figure out, for the very first time, his core values, his anchor. Okay, now let's fast forward a couple of decades. He's a massive movie star, but he hits another red light. And this one was totally different. It was a creative one. He found himself stuck in the rom-com trap. I mean, he was the guy, the undisputed king of the genre, making tons of money, giving audiences what they wanted to see. But on the inside, he felt creatively empty. The roles weren't a challenge anymore. He felt more like an entertainer than an actor, and that red light was just blinking brighter and brighter. So this feeling, this dissatisfaction, it led him to make a massive pivot. And this is where we see his philosophy, what he calls the art of living in action. It's all about recognizing when you need a change and then actually having the guts to do it. And he didn't just kind of drift away from it. No, he made a concrete plan. First, he recognized the problem. Then he stabilized things, talking it over with his wife to make a firm commitment. And then he organized his response. The strategy was simple, but man was it terrifying. Say no to the rom-coms and step out of the spotlight, no matter what happened next. And this quote right here really shows you how serious he was. He told Hollywood he needed a break. It was a huge, huge gamble. I mean, you know how that industry works. If you disappear, you might never get invited back. But he was willing to take that chance to find work that actually fed his soul. And that red light period, it was long. like painfully long. For 20 months, that's almost 2 full years, the phone just didn't ring. He turned down a $14.5 million paycheck for another rom-com, and then silence. Crickets. Not a single offer for any kind of movie. In his own words, he was forgotten. But here's where the magic of his whole philosophy really kicks in. That super painful, isolating red light, it was slowly turning green. That hiatus, that space he created, was allowing something totally new to grow. And there's this amazing paradox at the center of his comeback. By making himself scarce, by completely unbranding himself from the rom-com guy, he suddenly became a novel idea again. He wasn't the shirtless guy on the beach anymore. He was an unknown quantity, a fresh face. And his intentional absence made him the perfect target for exactly the kind of creative, challenging roles he'd been craving all along. And this timeline just lays it all out, plain and simple. The red light of his hiatus led directly to the most celebrated phase of his entire career. He came roaring back with this string of incredible, daring films that culminated in him winning an Oscar. This period was so iconic it even got its own name, the McConaissance. Ultimately, McConaughey's whole journey is proof of this one powerful idea. The limits we feel in our lives and our careers, that roof over our heads, a lot of the time, we're the ones who built it. We create this imaginary ceiling over what we think is possible. And if we built it, well, we can also be the ones to break through it. And so the book leaves us with this challenge, this really powerful question. It's all about taking ownership of your own story. It's not just about chasing the green lights, but about understanding how the reds and the yellows are the things that really shape us, and then having the courage to write that next chapter yourself. So the real question is, are you creating a life story that one day you'll be excited to look back on?